15-281, State versus Jeremy Lewandowski, theft of property, controlled substance, fraudulent practices.
He's in the hallway, Judge. I'll grab it.
Sir, I'm looking at a police statement and some conditions of suspension or probation. Have you gone over these documents?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel you understand what's set out in the police statements?
Yes, sir.
You understand the charges against you and the range of possible penalties if you're convicted?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty to theft of property, a Class C felony, theft of property, no, you're not prosecuting. Let me start over. You're pleading guilty to theft of property, a Class C felony, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, by entering your plea, you're giving up your right to have a trial, and you also cannot appeal. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Other than what's in this plea document, have you been promised anything or get you to change your plea?
No, sir.
Has anyone pressured you or coerced you to get you to change your plea?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you're found guilty?
Yes, sir.
On or about May 15th of this year here in Baxter County, did you
No, that's a very long affidavit, and it involves multiple defendants. Essentially, what this gentleman did is he took his mother's car. It was I think it was some sort of Dodge automobile, and took it to Springfield, Missouri, without his mother's permission, and kept it for several days. That car ended up in Oregon, and what he did is he knowingly exercised unauthorized control over a vehicle belonging to his mother, and ultimately that car was recovered. His mother was paid by the insurance company, but that's his crime. There's some other co-defendants in there that took items out of his mother's home, but this gentleman was involved in that.
okay, this mentions drugs and
Yes,
some
that was,
jewelry.
yeah, essentially what this man did is he came to his mother's home with two individuals from the Springfield, Branson area from Missouri, and he came down, and the next day these people loaded up his mother's stuff. They took a lockbox that contained all that stuff. He did not do that, nor does law enforcement think that he got to be involved in that. He did, however, take his mother's car and leave his mother's home, and she never recovered her car back.
Is this true, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This time, sir, I accept your plea, adjudge you guilty, be sentenced to 5 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections to be suspended on the terms and conditions of probation. You'll pay $200 in costs, a $1,000 fine, a DNA fee of $250, $20 booking fee, $200 in public defender fees, $154.50 in restitution. Pay what you owe at the minimum rate of $100 per month, beginning within 30 days after your release. You make your payments to the Sheriff's Department here in Baxter County.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I would like to state on the record, I received an email from the victim, this gentleman's mother by the name of Janice Smith, that this is from Attorney Randall Drake, stating that Miss Smith does not want this gentleman around her or in her house, so he's not to go there. If he does, he will be arrested.
That'd be a condition of probation, no contact with the victim. 15-285, State versus Hannah Miller, possession of methamphetamine paraphernalia.
Judge, we're going to change our plea to true in this matter. There's a recommendation from the state as far as an agreement.
This defendant, Ms. Miller, was originally placed on 48 months of supervised probation. We're going to revoke 2 years of that, give her 2 years to serve in the Department of Corrections.
There be any other suspended time or just 2 years?
Just 2 years.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm looking at a petition which the state filed to revoke your probation or suspended sentence, and this sets out what the state contends you did or didn't do to violate your probation. Do you understand the allegations against you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you could have a hearing where the state would have to prove that you have in fact violated the terms and conditions of your probation, or you can plead true. I understand you're pleading true to
Yes,
this?
sir.
To some or all of these allegations,
Yes,
is that
sir.
right? When you plead true, you give up your right to that hearing, and you cannot appeal. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Okay, other than what Mr. Chisholm said here, and I guess the fines and the cost would, if any, would remain the same, right? With credit for whatever she's paid,
That's correct.
if any. is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, other than that, have you been promised anything or threatened to get you to change your plea?
No, sir.
Okay. And you're doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you some questions here. Did you fail to report to your supervising probation officer as instructed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you didn't make fines and costs as directed?
Yes, sir.
Apparently the probation office did not know where you were at, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is a second revocation, Your Honor.
Second revocation. This time, ma'am, I'm going to find that you violated the terms and conditions of your probation and revoke your probation. And for possession of methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia, you'll be sentenced to 2 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections.
Yes, sir.
You're again ordered to pay $200 in cost, a $1,000 fine, a $20 booking fee, a drug crime assessment of $125, a DNA fee of $250. You'll be given credit for any sums you've paid. You're ordered to, within 60 days after your release from incarceration, you'll begin making payments at the minimum rate of $100 per month, each month.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck.